Yes, today we shall discuss our first chapter of social science, the rise of nationalism in Europe. As you see the screen, some of the questions are displayed here. The first question is, who was Frederic Soriot? Frederic Soriot was the French painter who in a series of 4 paintings visualized the concept of nation state, what the modern nation state is. This was described by Frederic Soriot in his series of 4 paintings. Next question is, what is referred to as absolutism? Absolutism refers to the concepts in which the power is concentrated in a few hands. It's a totalitarian form of governments in which the power is concentrated in the authoritarian rulers. The power is absolutes and there is no check on the power of the rulers. This system is called absolutism. Our third question is, what was the concept of nation state? Nation state is a concept in which the people and the ruler of a nation or a country identify themselves on the basis of common identity and shared history. When the people of a country identify themselves as a common people, there is a cohesive unit among the people. Common education, common language, common culture, common identity and shared history. That is called the nation state. Our fourth question is plebiscites. Plebiscites is a vote, direct vote by the people of a region to decide, reject or accept a proposal put forth by the government. When government try to want to know the opinion of the people, it gives them a plebiscites in which people directly vote on a matter of national importance, whether they accept it or reject it. This procedure is called plebiscite. Our next question is, what was major changes occurred political and constitutional scenario due to French Revolution in Europe? French Revolution is a landmark revolution in Europe because it changed the course of world history. French Revolution decided that henceforth the people will be the decider or have the deciding power of a nation. They will form the nation, and the divine rights of the people and privileges by birth were abolished right after the French Revolution. So French revolutions played a very important part in establishments of democratic ideas all over the world. Yes, our next question is, what was Ellie? Ellie was a measurement of cloth and it was different in all the 39 German confederations. In all the Germany at that time was a confederation of 39 states, and Ellie was different in all the units of confederation of Germany. So here we solve these questions. What was the basic philosophy of conservatives? At that times the conservatives were the slow changers, or they wanted to maintain the status quo. They wanted to remain the things as they are. They believed in the old institutions of church, social hierarchies, old family system and monarchical forms of government. They did not want to change, they want slow changers. They did not want to change the things overnight. They believed that all these institutions should remain and there should not be radical changes in Europe. This philosophy was of the conservatives in Europe during that period of time. Our next question is, what was the main aim of Treaty of Vienna of 1815? In 1815, a Treaty of Vienna was convened, and the chief aim of this treaty was to undo the work done by Napoleonic War. Napoleon at that time had captured huge territory of Europe, and he lost a battle at Waterloo, and after that the territories which was captured by Napoleon had to be given back to the original states, and the Treaty of Vienna was instrumental in this undoing the work done by Napoleonic War. Our next question is, what views did Giuseppe Mazzini have about Italy? Giuseppe Mazzini was very instrumental in the unification of Italy. He was of the opinion that God has made Italy a unified state. It is the will of the God to make Italy a single unified state, and it could no longer be a patchwork of smaller states. It should be a republic within the wider alliance of nations. These views of Giuseppe Mazzini were very revolutionary, and it brought about Italic unification later on, as we saw. Our next question is, who remarked, when France sneezes, rest of the Europe catches cold? These were the words of Lord Metternich. Lord Metternich, or we know them by Duke Metternich, who was the chairperson of Treaty of Vienna 1815. He gave the importance to France about its importance because it was the France where the first French Revolution took place, and this revolution not only brought about massive changes in political system of Europe, but also changed the course of history of the world as well. How did Lord Byron contribute to the Greek War of Independence? Lord Byron was English poet. He was instrumental in collecting the funds for the Greek independence, because Greece at that time was a part of the Ottoman Empire, which was a Turkish empire, and Greece was the part of it. So Lord Byron was the most important person who brought about, who waged the war of Greek independence, and because of his efforts in 1932, Greece became an independent country. Our next question is, what is Romanticism? A romantic idea was most important for giving rise to nationalism in Europe, because the people started identifying themselves on the basis of emotional attachments, folk dance, folklores, songs, and host of others. When people started identifying themselves through all these emotional ideas, this was known as Romanticism in Europe. So our next question is, who were Junkers in Persia? Persia was the confederation of 39 states, as we know, and Junkers were the big landlords of Germany. They commanded huge land. They were the landlords or the feudal lords of Germany, and referred to as Junkers in Persia. Our next question is, who holds the credit of unifying Germany? Germany, as we know, that was a confederation of 39 states. Otto von Bismarck, the chief minister of Persia, was the most important person who brought about unification of Germany. Our next question is, who was proclaiming German emperor in ceremony held at Versailles in January 1871? Kaiser William I was proclaimed as the German king in the ceremony held at Versailles in January 1871.